Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Thank you for stopping by. Well, I trust you enjoyed my last video from Aussie band the Eurogliders. And through the song Heaven Must Be There, we looked at life when it's not going so well and where we want to be and the hope that we have for that, but what we need to do to get there. So trust you found that one and encouragement as we get into 2022. We're going from there to this. Da 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 ba 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 and so on. Hopefully I've done that justice. But the story started in Sweden in 1979 with the band Force. Joey Tempest on lead vocals, John Norum on guitar, Tony Reno, who would become Ian Howland, on drums, Mick Michael on keyboards, and Peter Olsen, who would become John Levin, on bass. Now, between 1983 and 2019, there are 11 studio albums, 8 live albums, 5 compilation albums, 11 video albums, 24 music videos, 1 EP, 35 singles, estimated to have sold 10 million albums. Now, the guys we're talking about are Europe. In the line of those who've called themselves after places they're from, we had the band America and Asia, and then of course there's the song Africa, with these guys, obviously Sweden is in Europe, so it made sense to call themselves that. Now, Europe had a bit of a gap between 1992. They did a once-off concert in 1999, so a bit of a gap there, and then they decided to reform in 2003. So there's a little bit of a gap in there. I don't think we can do this thing forever. We need to go off and do other things, because these guys are pretty young at the time and they just needed to find their way. Some awards. They've won 9 various awards in Europe, and they were inducted into the Swedish Music Hall of Fame in 2018. Now, what can we say about Europe? We'll get onto this song in a minute that you have to talk about when you talk about them. We're talking glam metal, glam rock, arena rock here. We're talking about the big hair. We're talking about the standard 5 rock formation of vocals, bass, guitar, keyboards, and drums. We're talking about harmonies. We're talking about evocative lyrics. We're talking about incredible stage presence and stage shows, incredible guitar playing, drums, the whole thing. And certainly in the 1980s, keyboards were a bit of a thing and quite prominent in the band's sound, and Europe very much just capitalised on all of that sound to bring in absolutely compelling performance to their fans. These guys are relatively successful. 10 million albums isn't a bad effort, really. But what is the song that when you talk about Europe you have to talk about? Well, the song is, and as I hinted at the start of this video, The Final Countdown. Came off the album of the same name in 1986. Now, what is this song actually about? Interestingly, the chorus, the only words the chorus has in it is the final countdown, and then the keyboard riff goes off and does what it does. There are some interesting lines in this song, things like we're heading for Venus, and hopefully we'll find some friends there, and all the rest of us. As I was doing a bit of a search on the meaning of these lyrics, because they are a little bit different, it seems to me that the story goes that they decided to leave the planet. The Earth is no longer kind of worth staying in, and so we're going to go off somewhere else and find something else to do. In fact, things have got to such a point on Earth that there's really no choice. We have to leave and go somewhere else. Pretty desperate song when you think about it, having to leave your home, not just your home country, but your home planet, to go and find somewhere else, and you never know what's going to be out there. I think, certainly the way the world is at the moment, we are sort of feeling a little bit like that. Let's face it, this COVID thing's really making everybody up a bit, and we're not really quite sure where to do. We think we've got it under control, and then something happens to change it all. And you're thinking, well, maybe it might be a good thing to leave, actually, and go somewhere else. But you know what? what would we leave behind and what would we take with us if we did decide to do that? Because, you know, we all hope that if we do go somewhere else, say for instance we move towns or move cities or move countries, we hope for a new start. And we hope that when we get there, the new start will be waiting for us. But we may take with us things that we haven't appreciated as part of this life. We take them with us. We may take the baggage with us that we've got and deprive ourselves, in essence, of the new start. In the video last time, I talked about the dragon that we have. I talked about this familiar, friendly figure in our lives that is fueling our negativity and fueling our ability to grab life and go with it. It's friendly, it's easy, and it's easier just to stay with the dragon than to try and be happy and to try and be different. And so there's a real risk that if we do decide to make a new start, that we're going to take our dragon with us. We've got to leave the dragon behind. And we've got to leave our mind and where it was in the past there as well, and get a new mindset as we go into a new place. I shared this story before that I was managing something a little while back and it didn't finish so well. But at the same time I was already embracing a new job, and what I really needed to do is I needed to clear my mind of the old things so I could embrace the new. The new deserved everything I possibly could do, and so therefore I just needed to do that. We make a conscious decision when they may need some ritual or something to actually help us, but we need to embrace a new mindset. The old mindset will hang on for all it's worth, though. You've got to make a conscious decision to get rid of it, because a new thing deserves everything you can. So my only hope is as the people who are heading off to Venus in the final countdown realise that, okay, we're going to make a new start, and so we need a new mindset to do that. My only hope is that, you know, that's what happened as they took off for the final countdown. So I think the takeaway from today's story is this. This is this concept of having to embrace a new mindset. If you're in a situation right now where you want something's gradually going and a new thing's coming, don't stay in that transition for too long. Don't try and keep both mindsets going, because the new thing is missing out because of the old. Sometimes we've got to make a fresh break, a clean break, and do everything we can to embrace the new. Easier said than done. But it is possible. You might need some ritual to do that. For me, one thing that I do is I'll go down to water and I will throw rocks in the water. And as I throw the rock in the water, that's me, in a sense, praying that that person will be well, and leaving it with them, leaving it with my God to deal with. So I suppose that whatever works for you, but your mindset needs to shift, because if it doesn't, you won't give your all to the new thing. So if you're wondering why you're not embracing a new experience when it could be that you've still got a bit of your mind left in the old experience. It needs to go. So may 2022 be an opportunity for you to do that. As you go into 2023, you'll be looking forward completely to the new year, as opposed to still having part of it parked in the last year. So trust you'll find that one an encouragement today. Well, on to the clip. So obviously the final countdown, we've got to have this one. Again, 1986 from an album of the same name. We've got a live version and we've got the official clip on this one. Such a compelling stage presence, Europe, full of power, full of incredible guitars, incredible drums, amazing keyboards, vocals, the whole thing. Joey Tempest is a pretty amazing vocalist as well, and so he's just the perfect guy to be at the front. So, and I very much met Europe through this song, and probably most of the world met this song through Europe. Most of the world met Europe through this song, and well and truly one of those songs that we all remember. Such a rich era for music. Bon Jovi 1985, Living on a Prayer came out around this time of year. Was such a rich time for music. So we've got those two, live and official of the final countdown. We've also then got Open Your Heart. This is a bit more of a ballad. This came off of an album before the final countdown, 1984, Wings of Tomorrow, and then it was re-released in 1988, Out of This World. This is more of a ballad for Europe, and here we can see how well Joey Tempest can play the guitar as well. There's a little bit of a duel happening between him and John at the beginning of the clip here. But this is Europe, I suppose, in a bit more of a ballad style. And again, just shows how good these guys are and how versatile they are on stage. Very, very tight indeed. So that's a live version of that one. We then got Cherokee from 1986. This is the official clip also from the Final Countdown album. This is all about, it's a bit of a political song at this one, a bit of a political commentary against about the American Indians and what happened to them. Because obviously Cherokee was a tribe. So there's a bit of a commentary on that one, and again, we need to think about how we deal with our Indigenous people all around the world. Australia hasn't done a very good job either. So what can we do personally to make that better? Because that's where it's going to start, right? It's going to start with individuals standing up and saying stuff. So the links to those 4 clips are in the description below. And I've also included my last video from the Eurogliders. So if you want to recap on them, feel free. Well, if you've come back for another one, or if this is your first time to Live Reflections Through Music, welcome to everybody. So good to see everybody back. Roll on 2022. Well, that's it for today. Next time we're going to go on to the Eurythmics, Annie Lennox and Dave Stewart. So until then, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.